Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is the end of February 2025 and not a super interesting month this month, but some progress was made. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So income this month, exact same as last month, just two paychecks. I did get my yearly merit increase a couple days ago actually. So I got a 2.5% pay increase. So that brings my base salary to about $178,600. And then I'm selling vacation days, 5 days a year. So really base salary sitting around 182,000. So income, our take home pay this month was 8,600. Just same old stuff that it is every single month. My wife is back to adjunct teaching this month. It's always slow in January for her, but students are back in class. So she made $1,090, brought home $891 of that. Next thing is rental properties. I am looking at these. I definitely have not kept up with the rental rates on these. And so probably June and the end of this year, I'm going to bump both of those up, probably 150, maybe $200 a month. Probably not that much, honestly. But other income, this was primarily tax return, I'll say. I'm going to get on a soapbox here for a second, but I thought my tax return would probably be $15,000, and it turned out to be about $4,500. So one of the reasons I got my real estate license was that I could check a box in my tax return that says I'm a full-time real estate professional. Well, turns out when I read the fine print with the accountant on that, it says I would need to spend 51% of the time as in real estate. So essentially, because I work full time in pharmaceuticals, like 2,080 hours a week, I would essentially have to put the same amount of time in real estate as well to be able to check that box. So we weren't able to check the box, and they did say, if I did check it, most likely I would be audited on this. It would stick out like a sore thumb. Um, so by not checking that box, I could not write off losses from my W-2 income. And so that was a $11,000 swing on my tax return. So yeah, it got back $11,000 less than what I thought I was going to. So overall, I mean, I still got back $4,500, but I mean, when you looked at last year, we paid almost $60,000 in just income taxes. So I mean, it depends how you look at it, I guess. $600 of that was from the invasive species grants, and so I will say that is killing us at the moment. I think we paid $3,000 this month for invasive species work, and we will probably be getting back maybe 20,000 of that in May. And so we have a couple more months of paying for that, but yeah, negative for the short term, but we'll get all that back here in a couple months. So gross income 22,000, take home pay was 17,000, and we'll go ahead and jump into a net worth here. I did update the cars for the first time in actually a pretty long time. The truck went down about $1,000 in value. It's funny, the 2018 Honda Civic actually went up in value, which is kind of crazy. But 2013 Honda Fit went down $600, and then everything else stayed the same. And then investments. This was a super interesting month for investments this month. Um, Stock market was down probably 4.5%. And so let me explain a few things here. So first is HSA account. You see it's down 6,000, maybe $5,500 compared to last month. So a lot of that, probably half of that, maybe 2,500, is actual market losses, just from the market going down that 4%. But then the other 2,500 is because in 2024 we over contributed to our HSA, and when I filed my taxes, I was forced to pull out about $2,500 from that. And so yeah, so we had to take a hit in the HSA because of that over contribution from last year. So it's down to 74,000. My 401k, this is interesting. Some are down, some are up. My 401k is up $5,000, and that is primarily because of one stock, I'll say. Most of my 401k is not invested in the stock market right now. It is in money markets, getting like 4.5% rate of return. And so there is a small section of that, probably 15 or 16,000 was in Alibaba stock, which I bought at $60 a share probably a year and a half ago. Well, they announced that they're going to start working on AI. So naturally, just like NVIDIA, it skyrockets to the moon. So it went from probably 80 a share to 140 a share. So I sold my entire holdings at 140 a share. So a little over double profit on that. And so that's why I'm up that $5,000 compared to last month in January, specifically because of that one stock. For my wife's 403b, basically flat compared to last month. Again, she's not contributing to this, so it is what it is. Debts, made minimum payments on these first three, and then took a massive chunk out of house number 8 this month. So paid $8,700 in principal this month. So essentially the $5,000 tax return went towards that. The $600 towards the natural or the invasive species thing, that went towards that. And then $2,500 from the HSA overpayment went directly to that as well. So yeah, almost 9,000 paid towards the house, and nothing really crazy with checkings and rental checkings. I think last month I actually pulled this at an interesting time. So rental checkings fluctuates based off when the mortgages come out of that account and when water bills come out and when trash payments and gas payments and all that stuff. So I think usually they save about $600 to $700 a month in profit after everything. And so, yeah, that's why it's such a small amount this month. There was a pretty high gas bill of 150, and that's usually probably $60 to $70, but so yeah, that's what's going on there. But we're sitting on $69,000 in cash total. Only other thing to update here is, yeah, that merit increase from work. So I guess I have a few different weird forms of income that are going to be coming in here in the next couple months. So I will have my first real estate closing here probably in a week or two, and that'll be about $7,000 coming in. Then I'll have another real estate closing happening early April, which that one will not produce any income. That was for a family member of mine. And then I should have probably three or four more transactions going to happen before May or June. So hoping to see probably ten to $15,000 of just working as a real estate agent come in before June. So things are picking up a little bit there. Um, Second form of income probably coming in May. Maybe there's going to be a small portion at the end of March, probably $8,000, and then another portion of about $16,000 coming at the end of May, and that's for the invasive species program that we're in year 2 of. Then the third thing that's going on is the merit increase. So as you may know, I get a yearly stock bonus and just general bonus from working at the company. Company did phenomenally this year, and so my yearly bonus for 2025, which will pay out on March the 7th, is $62,000, and so my take-home pay should be about $40,500 from that. So just like last year, it was actually quite a bit better than what it was last year. But yeah, net worth will jump up at least $40,000 instantly from that payout, and all of that will go towards house number 8 and working on paying that off. And then the second thing, as part of my merit increase, I also get stock options. I got let's see, probably $17,000 of stock options last year that are now worth about 21,000. This year they gave me 17,500, and these vest in 3 years, which is why you do not see it on my net worth statement now. Um, so yeah, that will come in 2028, and I'll be able to sell the first portions of that in 2027. So that was a nice surprise as well. Only other thing to update here is I would say the pension. I have been miscalculating my pension incorrectly for a long time actually. So I was calculating it based off of the early retirement date of 55, which is a 60% reduction from your pension payout. So I will get a pension at my employer after 5 years of service, which will be 2000. It'll be March of 2028. And just a heads up, so this is what it will look like. It will be 0.012% of what my average income is. So we'll say probably around 250,000, if I can count my zeros here, and then times the number of years that I'm employed there. And so essentially every year after 5 years of service, that will pay out $15,000 a year. And so I think the way, please let me know in the comments if you have a pension, how you calculate your pension into your net worth. Do you just completely ignore it? I think what I'm going to do is find a happy medium where if I had an investment portfolio and I'm living off a 4% rate of return and just living off the dividends or never touching the principal, I think I'm going to calculate it the same way as I would that. So essentially, I'll multiply that by 25, which would be that 4% rate of return. And so once I hit 5 years of service, that $15,000 a year that they pay me for the rest of my life, once I turn the age 65, is essentially worth $375,000. And again, that's not me contributing anything to it. So that whole entire time, I had been doing the early withdrawal date of 55, which was actually a 60% reduction in my 401k. So it would have been like times another zero point 0.4, if I can add the multiplication in here. So it actually would have been 150,000 instead of 375,000 net worth increase. So if I can just tough it out for another 3 years or so at my job, I'll start to be able to, sell the stock options that I'm getting vested, and I'll be able to get that pension, which will be a massive increase to the net worth all at one time. So, yeah, let me know how you think I should calculate that. I still have obviously 3 years before that takes effect, but yeah, interesting to hear your thoughts on that. So net worth wrapping up February and going into March of 2025, net worth is sitting at 1,656,000. So probably $14,000 increase compared to last month. And I'll say that's really not too bad, especially the fact that the stock market was down 4% this month in the last 30 days, and we basically stayed flat, even with 640,000 in the stock market. I did update this halfway through the month as well. I periodically just check in on this. And at the height before it crashed over the last week, I wouldn't say crash, but went down a little bit. We were somewhere around 647,000. So we lost maybe 10,000 or so in the last probably a week. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty pleased with the month. I honestly, I would not mind a crash of 30 to 50%. I know that may seem startling, but we are positioned right now very, very good for a crash. We probably have 400,000 of this just sitting in money markets, hanging out on the sidelines. So yeah, I mean, wouldn't not, I personally would not mind it. I'm always on the hunt for value stocks out there. Just very safe companies that are trading below their intrinsic value. The best one that I've seen here recently is Archer Daniel Midland, and again, not financial advice, just what I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. And so yeah, just keeping an eye on ADM at the moment, and yeah, seeing how that goes. So. Yeah, wrapping up February, like I said, net worth is sitting at 1,656,000. I'm excited for next month here, as I get those bonus incomes coming in, and massive chunks will be taken out of house number 8. And so it'll be exciting. I honestly think in probably 2 years, I think March of 2027, I can have the rest of this $385,000 paid off. And so I mean, we're knocking this out pretty quick, and I do have some tricks up my sleeve to get this done quite a bit faster. So stay tuned, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Well, thanks everybody. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe down below, and we will see you in the next video.